How's it going, rednecks? It's the end of October and it's unseasonably warm, so I'm going to take advantage of this weather and we're going to work on my Gambler Tahoe. And what I'm going to be doing is installing an overhead console. So for quite some time I've been putting my sunglasses in my visor here, and every now and then they'll fall out and scare the living crap out of me. And I didn't know there was a solution. I thought I could remove this and actually install a sunglass holder, or there's a little thing you can put in, like a little pocket you can put in here instead of the rear heat controls. But then I came across this. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I had quite a bit of information and I knew quite a bit about these trucks, but for some reason I never knew some of them came with an overhead console. Now, not all of them did. It seems like, from what I understand, the Avalanches and the Silverados had them, or Sierra pickup trucks. And they don't come with the rear heat controls. I put this in, and I'm going to show you what I did to quick do that. I had to do that out in the pick and pull lot. But what this is it has the garage door opener slot, a sunglass slot, and a CD holder slot. So if you guys have a use for this or this other than their intended use, because we don't use CDs anymore, obviously, and I don't have a garage door opener, so it'd be cool to see like different options or what you guys have done to utilize those two areas. But without further ado, let's pop the heater controls out and I will show you what I did to fit those in, and then I'll show you how easy it's going to be to mount it in my truck. So for obvious reasons, the pickup trucks didn't have rear heat on them because it's a cab. They don't have the whole back area to install one. So what I had to do is, there was a cover that used to go in here, and I'll post a picture of that. And that cover simply locks in. There's 4 points, and you can just go from the backside and punch it out. Now, there was a tab that latched onto, and what I had to do is take a pair of snips and cut it away, and it comes out to about here. It's not horribly big, but you don't want to cut it flush, because the back of this is going to actually have to rest against that. Otherwise, it will get pushed all the way through. So this is what I cut mine out like. I'll try to get a better picture with better lighting here. And as you can see, just a small lip, and that stops the heater unit from dropping all the way through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and it's just a Phillips head screw, we're going to unbolt this one. Before tearing this out, I do want to mention the home link or the garage door buttons on the stock unit are not included on this, so I don't know if you could utilize this or find a way to make them work, but I don't use them, so I'm not going to concern myself with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my old unit. That's my old rear heat unit, and as you can see, there's a tab here, there's a tab back there, tab right here in the front, and then another one, and then that gets pushed right down and through. And this is the old unit, and as you can see, it has little lips on it to hold the heater controls from dropping through. So this one has quite a bit more than what we're going to have on our unit there, because we only have them little corners or edges that we left, but it seems to be enough. So what do you say we get this thing popped in, and then we go about cutting the headliner. Before we get cutting, we got to go over what we're cutting for, and these two tabs right here need to lock into a bracket that is underneath our headliner. So we're going to have to make some cuts, and armed with a tape measure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure all of this stuff out for you guys at home in case you guys want to go about doing that, but I'm going to do mine a different way. So without further ado, what do you say I get all the measurements here for you, and then I show you what I'm going to do. So from the furthest front point to the furthest back, it's 27.5. And then our width back here is 8.5. We're up front, it's around 7.5. And then from our point right here, this is our bolt point. It looks like it's about 1 inch from the front. So from the hole here to the front is 1 inch. And then to these, it looks like 25 inches to the start and about 24.5 to the back, and then the total length from the screw to the back is 26.5. So all we have to do is find the location to cut these two out with, and we're going to use the stock location right here, the stock screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up in the up to the headliner, have this kind of where it needs to be, mark out where these need to go, and then I'm just going to cut my headliner. Remember, you can always go bigger. It's easier to cut too little than cut too much. This don't need to be pretty because it's going to get covered up by the console itself. And obviously I'm going to do a better job because I want to put this in my Yukon as well. Doing a Yukon build. And it's getting an overhead console too. This truck I don't care so much for. This is like my experimental truck. This is a fun experiment. To give you an idea of what I'm cutting through the headliner, and then there's like a foam backing to it, and then there is a fiberglass to the back of that. So yeah, we got our fiberglass right here, and then this is kind of your headliner, so it's kind of a foam on the back with your headliner, and this is your, and those two are kind of stacked like that. They just happen to tear apart. So let me grab the camera. I'll give you guys a viewing of what I've got cut out here, and then we'll try and shove that overhead console in. That's what I've cut out so far. If I need to go further in, I will, but I'm gonna see, I should be able to clear it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my plugins, plug those in. I actually have the, I think it's called HomeLink, the other plug-in. Oh, that's this guy right here. I'm not going to be using that one anymore because that's for the garage door opener. So all I need is that hole right there. That's where my Phillips is going to go. So I got to latch the two back things in and screw it in. Those are in. Let's get our screw. There we go. Screw that in a little tighter. There we go. And here's the fitment. As you can see, it's nice and tight. The one thing we're going to have to deal with is that right there. The old console was wider, as well as it stuck out a little more in the front. So you kind of have the outline of the old console. And as you can see, my headliner is far from perfect. So I'm not going to be bothered too much by that, but if you are, then I wouldn't be doing this. But here's what we were after. Let's take our sunglasses and retire them into there, and they don't fit. You pile of... Guys, you can't even make this crap up. I tried orienting these things in the sunglasses holder every way I could, and they will not fit. And as you can see, there's almost permanent indentations in my ceiling liner from having these up there, and it looks like that's going to be where they stay. But hopefully that helps you guys. Doesn't help me a whole lot, but looks nice, and hopefully one day I'll have a pair of sunglasses that will fit in there. With that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and get back to work.